Guys, something a little different today. Here's a knife I've had since about 2000. Got it when I was on a road trip at a Harley dealership, and it's a Microtech. It's kind of a rare knife. You won't see many of these. This is an auto opening knife, and I'll just demonstrate the opening. It's not terribly fast. As you can see, it kind of flops open. It used to open a lot faster, so I'm assuming that there's some crud buildup in there. It's been quite a while. So let's get up here and take a look at the deal. As you can see, it's got this is 5 of 99. And from my understanding, it's a pre-production run, limited number. The material is 154 cm. It's got an aluminum handle with G10 inserts. It's kind of rubbery material. It's also a dual action knife. You can also open it without using the auto opening. And what I'm going to do here, it's a nice day, I'm outside, is I'm going to take it apart, see what's inside, and see if I can clean it. So we've got some Torx drive screwdrivers here. We've got a T9, T6, and a T8, and that should be enough to get it open. And I got a little bowl to put parts in so they don't roll off on the ground. We'll just see how this all works out for us. Right, now I've never worked on an automatic knife before, so this will be a learning experience. Hopefully it won't be too painful. My guess is the smart thing to do would be to open it with the spring relaxed so that it doesn't fly across the yard here and I lose all my parts. And even though we don't really need to, I think I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these screws here on the clip. Okay, so you can see that. I'll get that off just to have one less thing to throw me off when I'm laying it over on its side and whatnot. It doesn't appear to be a whole lot to taking the knife apart. A handful of button head Torx screws. So that seems to be going pretty well. Probably one of my favorite knives in my collection. I used to carry this thing a lot. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. You can see there's 2 long screws and 1 short screw. And you can see there's some crud built up underneath there. That doesn't look very cool, huh? So, that's good. It's probably some dry slide from when I tried to lubricate it. Okay, we've got a somewhat larger screw over here. This appears to be the T8. Okay, that's coming undone. That's nice. I really don't know what that screw controls. Something. Okay, that appears to hold the, yep, that holds the part that keeps the knife locked in an open position. Okay, that's cool. Now, let's see if we can get this out. Okay, try as I might, I can't get that come loose, so I'll just move on to the next thing. We'll take the T6 and we'll take out these little Torx screws that hold it all together and see what happens. I don't know. Like I said, I've never taken one of these apart, so it's a mystery to me. I really don't know what all is involved in getting this to happen. I certainly used some nice looking hardware on this. Yeah. Try and keep very careful track of which ones go where in case they're different lengths or something I really don't know. I was recently looking online to see if I could find this knife for sale anywhere just to see, and there's one similar to it that's not auto opening. It's just double action. It was listing for something around $400 and something. I paid about $400 for this. So I'm assuming that they are a relatively expensive knife. It looks to me like I've gotten all the little screws loose. Let's see if they're different lengths. Okay, we've got that size. Well, so far these all appear to be the same length. Yeah. There's a little bit of crud in them, so that's good that I'm taking it apart. I can clean it up. It's probably not a knife I should have been carrying around because it's so expensive, and it's also double, auto. And I guess that can be a legal issue if somebody were to want to make it a legal issue. Okay, I can see this is starting to wiggle around a little bit, so something's going on. I don't know how I'm going to get this particular one out. It doesn't want to come out. Well, I probably need like a little tiny needle nose pliers or something to take it apart. It is loose though. This is loose. Huh. Something is trapping it inside. I'm hoping it's not something important like a spring. Yeah, you can see that there's some crud in there. Maybe that was some thread locker they used. I don't know. Okay, now that I got all the little screws out, really the only thing holding this knife together is the one screw that I can't seem to undo. What I was kind of hoping is that if I were to spread the knife and put some pressure on that, that might keep it from spinning. I'm not entirely sure. Give it a try. Alright, success. Basically just by spreading it with this part of my hand, spreading this out and holding this, I have managed to get this to start coming loose. So now I can feel it starting to unscrew. I don't want the whole thing just to fall into pieces without me seeing how it's assembled. Okay, they've got a wound up spring in there. Yeah, this is the part I was a little scared of, that if something would happen where it would spring into pieces. Here's the little deal that locks the blade. That thing definitely does not want to come out of there. I've tried to wiggle it free a bunch of times. It likes it. It likes in its slot. It must be a very tight fit. There we go. Now you can see that's a lovely machined piece there. That's the locking part. It goes in like that, so that'll be easy. Now at this point, yeah, I can see the spring for the button. I can see the little wavy washer, and I can see the other spring. I guess you could probably see that too. This is the part where I'm going to get a little nervous, because as you can see, it looks like it could fall into a whole bunch of parts and be confusing. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's a neat little mechanism. Of course, I have no clue how to get that out neatly. I'll just keep working on this screw and try and get this one screwed out. Yay! Unbelievable. That was a real booger. Okay, now at this point, I am assuming that the way to open this would be this way. Yay! I was right. Okay, let me get that so you can really see it. Okay, what we've got here is a wavy washer, which I'm imagining gives it a little bit of pressure. Okay, that's cool. We've got a cammed deal on the blade. Look at the machining in this thing. Isn't that gorgeous? This is the same grade of alloy or steel that they use in turbines on jet engines. I can bet you that this is where the crud is causing problems. And I see a little hole, and I bet you that's for the spring. only makes sense, right? So we don't need that there. Now let's take a close look at this mechanism. This is the bastard right here. Wow. Okay, so this has still got a spring in it. You can see the springy action. Okay, so imagine that this lifts straight off, if I'm lucky. Or not. Oh, there's a washer first, huh? Okay. So there's a spacer washer right there. Okay. Push that out. Oh, it's a very tight fit. So I can imagine this might be slowing it down too. And you can see it's got a step and a slot. A lot of really fine detailed machining in this, wouldn't you say? And we still got the springing mechanism is there. Here's the button. Okay, the button is nothing. That's easy enough, right? It's got a little tiny spring in it, which I don't think I need to remove, but I could. Yeah, looks like I could clean that too. It's got some crud in it from me trying to lubricate it before without taking it apart. It's got a tiny little groove. I just love the quality of the machining on this stuff. It's so nice. Okay. And here is the gubbins. Look at that, that's a pretty serious spring. So I don't think the spring is the problem. I don't think the spring is worn out or anything. And it looks like it'll be pretty straightforward to assemble, because this leg of the spring is going to go into this slot. It looks to me like everything just needs a nice cleaning, and then I'll apply some dry slide and I'll put it all back together. I don't see any corrosion. I just see, a little bit of crud and filth built up into it. Looks like it would be incredibly simple to take apart and put together. So, many of my fears are now allayed. So basically what I'll be doing is just cleaning it and putting it back together, and then we can test the action. This pivot pin still has some break free on it from my last attempt. You can see it's got a nice little recess. Just look at the quality of this piece. Just beautiful. So what I'll do is I'll clean all this up real nice and then reassemble everything and put it all back together with some break free, dry slide, whatever works best, I guess. Probably dry slide. I don't think it wants to have anything wet in it. It'll just catch crap. What a great design, huh? So that's what's inside a top-end automatic knife. You're looking at it. I'll show you the